Ladies and gentlemen, we actually studied the labor market challenges which are associated with stricter environmental policy in Switzerland. And here you see a graph. So here we have a stricter environmental regulation in Switzerland. And the idea is that in order for the transition towards a green economy to be successful, the rising demand for green skills and jobs has also to be accommodated by an increased supply. So basically, the demand curve shifts to the right, and you see if the supply does not endogenously possibly also shift to the right, well, then just the price for the green jobs and skills increases. And this also, whether this can be accommodated, the increasing demand for green jobs and skills, has an impact also on pollution. So we have 3 parts and 3 questions. So the first part here, here we have the question, how do stricter environmental regulations affect the various industries' demand for inputs, particularly for green jobs and skills? And what we do here is we do a cross-country, cross-industry analysis, and we use the data that exists for the US regarding green jobs and various skills, and we map this information to the Swiss economy in order to construct a database that relates green jobs and green skills for about 50 Swiss industries. And we estimate the change in demand for green jobs and skills for these 50 industries based on a marginal change in the environmental policy. So that's the first part. Now in the second part, we ask the question, for which green jobs and skills and in which industries is there a mismatch between demand and supply on the Swiss labor market? And what is the role of migration? So here basically we want to use a method that has been established by BSS that allows us to find out mismatches in the labor market regarding jobs, but we now apply this to skills. And we also want to find out regarding these possible mismatches, we want to find out what is the importance of migration in offering these various green skills we have identified before. So that allows us to also to characterize industries that are highly dependent on green jobs and skills. Now, having now some good information, understanding about supply and demand for green jobs and particularly skills in an environment where the environmental policy becomes more demanding or stricter, we put everything together. And basically in the third part, we ask the question, which industries will be highly affected by the transition to a green economy, would make a positive environmental impact and are likely to face a shortage in green skills. And of course then we ask the question, what could be done? And I think this can be shown here with this graph. So here we have a matrix, skill shortages, and we have net environmental benefits. And we order all the industries based on different characteristics. And of course, you can have many industries here, and the crucial industries are the ones here. These are the ones that, if they affected by the environmental policy, if they develop new processes, they will be able to reduce the emissions. So if they do this in Switzerland, there is a large net environmental impact, a benefit. But these are the industries that also face a shortage in skills, in green skills in Switzerland. Now, if we manage basically to make sure that there is a supply in these skills, they will reduce the emissions in Switzerland. But if that's not possible, the whole thing will just be dislocated to other countries, and there is no net environmental benefit. And so this identification is very important. So what we do at the end is we will run workshops with the Swiss Federal Institute of Vocational Education and Training. In German it's called das Eidgenössische Hochschulinstitut für Berufsbildung. And so we will run various workshops and try to discuss with the involved parties to see what we will present our results, and we will of course show them or discuss with them what could be done in order to make sure that this increasing demand for the green skills we have identified will be accommodated by an increasing supply. So we try to implement what we have learned. And so this is the team. So this is the group that understands a lot about international trade, about environmental economics, about environmental policy. And this is the other group with BSS that is knowing a lot about vocational training, about identifying skill shortages, and about mapping skills and jobs. Thanks a lot.